baby.
Hey Jim, it's time for an update on the update. You might recall last time I was taking apart the roof to the R129 Mercedes, and it was a free removable hardtop, and I decided I was going to experiment with parting it out. Well, I took some of the interior parts off, and that went pretty good, and I listed some on an eBay account, and a new eBay account, G Garage Parts. I don't know why they wouldn't let me have Garrett's Garage Parts, but they said that one wasn't allowed. Not unavailable, not allowed. But G Garage Parts, that was allowed. So I listed a few parts just to see what would happen. And the first part has sold. Oh, so that makes me a professional auto dismantler. But on the unprofessional side of all this, let me show you kind of what happened while I was trying to take out the glass. Removing the glass is way harder than you think it's going to be. At least it was for me. I got all these little tools from Harbor Freight. Let's see here. I got this thing, which you're supposed to stick in the track here and then turn and then pull, and it's just not long enough to work in this wide of a track. So I had to abandon that. And then I got another setup from Harbor Freight, which is some cable that you attach these handles on either side, and you pull the cable back and forth to cut the seal. Well, I was able to do that here on the main back window. I started about in the center, and I worked my way over this way, and then I started up here, and you can see where I abandoned my effort right here. It is a huge amount of work to pull from both the inside and the outside, and the amount of pressure you have to put on it to make this cut is just huge. And I was starting to chip the bottom edge of this glass here, which I think would damage its, it damages it, and it damages its resale value. It looks like some chips here already from me messing around with it. And then I tried to do down here, and you can see how far I got. I just cut from there to there before I said, you know what, there's no way that I'm going to continue with that much effort to be able to maybe get $30 out of this piece of glass. So maybe somebody out there knows a better way to do it. I imagine there's some heat involved or something like that, but the real glass guys, man, that was hard work, and I gave up. Yeah, there's got to be a secret way to get the glass out of the hardtop or out of the bedding, rubber or glue or whatever it is, mastic. And yeah, so I'm going to probably give the rest of that roof to the metal scrapping guy on Thursday. I got to recover, of course, my little handle tools and all of that are still attached to it. But my Mercedes transmission service kit, that's not here yet. That's probably still a week out before it arrives, so not going to pick on that for at least another week. I did sell the first piece of that roof. I put some of the parts on eBay. I got an account now. It's called G Garage. G Garage Parts is actually what it's called. And they wouldn't let me put Garrett's Garage Parts. They said, not allowed. Why wouldn't that be allowed, but G Garage Parts? Maybe it's too long? I don't know. Anyway, the first part sold. It's a little grab handle. The inside grab handle sold for like $29, but I have to pay for shipping, so I'll end up taking out $20 out of the deal. Bank, baby! So, anyway, that's a good sign. Somebody actually bought part of the old roof, so that at least gives me the ability to say I'm a professional auto dismantler. Now, the Z4 here, I still haven't gotten it back out on the road. I haven't been doing much with it. I kind of ran into a, a problem here. Let me show you. I am trying to put the convertible top back in. And the problem I'm running into is, I know this should probably go on last, but this rubber part, I've had this track already all completely in, and then I try to put this rubber part in, and I just can't figure out how to make this all work together. And I don't know. So now I've pulled the rubber track completely out all the way around again, and I'm going to start over when I get back to this. Maybe tomorrow. I have other things on my agenda for today. But you and everybody else would really like to see this car out of this garage. And it has to come out very soon because I have to do the Mercedes. So this bad boy has to come out of here. And the paint job came out pretty bad, but it's better than it was. So that's all I'm aiming for here. Well, so that's the way things are around here. Oh, another thing I got. Right here. I got a, that's part of repair work for the big truck. I still haven't been able to quite sort out the stolen catalytic converter. I just can't bring myself to spend the extra $600, whatever it is, to get the California approved cat when I can buy a non-California cat for $260. So I don't know. I got to do the cat. But that is a gasket for the rear end on the truck. So as soon as I get the next piece, not as soon as, but soon after I get the next piece that I'm still waiting for, which is a new aluminum finned differential cover, I'm going to attack the rear end on the truck that has been seeping oil for, I don't know, probably the last 10 years. So gonna pull that apart and put a new cover on and new gasket, seal it real good, new fluid, new oil, whatever you want to call it. And then the Mercedes transmission, I'm going to be doing that as soon as that stuff comes in. Again, not as soon as, but soon after the service kit comes. And then someone gave me a really good lead on a transmission, Mercedes dismantler that specializes in transmissions that's only about a half an hour away from here. So after I do the Mercedes transmission service, I will cruise over there with it and see if I can get those guys to do a computer reset, and maybe the Mercedes will be back in business. And if that doesn't do it, if it still needs a new transmission, we're going to start dismantling that car and parting it out. Ooh, I hate the idea because I love that car. Yeah, it's going to hurt me the first few bits and pieces I take off that bad boy. But, I could certainly use the wiring harness from the power windows. I could use the wiring harness from the power seats and the heated seat switches for my little Volkswagen project that you guys don't know that much about. That's a 1969 VW Beetle that about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I put a Mercedes, I think it was a mid-90s, late 90s C32 AMG. I bought the interior out of a wrecked one. And I bought that interior because after checking into I measured the widths on seats of many different cars that had nice seats. And the AMG C-Class of that vintage, I forget the chassis designation. It might be W202, but I might be wrong. I'm not sure. Those seats were narrow enough that you could use them in the VW Beetle. So I got this interior for the same price for the original interior out of the Bug that I sold on Craigslist. So it was basically a straight across swap. And now that Volkswagen has Mercedes black perforated leather AMG seats and door cards, which are kind of scabbed together door cards that I used various parts from the rear doors mainly, from the AMG interior. It's also got the AMG rear seat in it. But what it doesn't have is it doesn't have the wiring harness and the switches and all of that to make the power seat adjustments move and to make the heated seats work. But I think I can harvest enough wiring harness and switch mechanism gear out of the SL to make all of my seats in my Volkswagen work. So that would be a benefit to parting the car out. Okay, well, that's today's update. I have to go to my G19 classified office right now and ship somebody their grab handle from their for their R129 Mercedes from Garrett's Garage Parts. Hey, thanks for watching. I'll be if I can get this stupid Z4 back on the road here, we'll do a celebratory video for that soon.